Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat now. Let me share this with the people from Discord. Welcome, everybody. And let me address something real quick as well while we're here in the live. Oh. Um, everyone live now. Okay. Shout out to everybody from the Discord. We're live now. The app was crashing earlier, so it looks like it's better now. But apparently YouTube was having an issue. I noticed that there were certain videos I couldn't watch. Some people were reporting certain things. So hopefully things are looking okay on your guys' end and the app is not crashing. Now, and that's it. Let me talk to this person real quick. I think it's kind of just letting you guys know. I hope this is actually new news for real. Let me say this, okay? Um, unless the title says breaking news or exclusive, you're not going to find new news, right? It's just so people are aware. When a creator or a YouTuber writes exclusive, that's probably going to be new news that they're about to deliver to you, right? That's what exclusive means. Exclusive to the channel or new news and all this other stuff. Like typically that's what it is. When it's breaking news, it's just that. Now, we've had a couple of items break and I'm assuming you're talking about the David case. We've had a couple of items, break here and there, but they're not exclusive to me. They've been exclusive to TMZ. They've been exclusive to other people. So I want to make sure that, like, if you're here, you got timed out because I was like, I don't understand. What is it that you're looking for? Like, you want me to make up the news? If I have exclusive news, you'll see it. You'll see it says exclusive, but that's not the case. Okay. So take a nap and eat a hot dog. I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Everybody. Okay. Yes, yes. How are you, my love? Shout out to Shoot for the Stars. How are you, my love? Welcome everybody. Storm. Everybody I see here. I'm letting the people get in here because, I'm just letting the people get in here. Yes. We have some news that SF Investigates has released. So we got to talk about this. Okay. It's truly, truly, truly my the span of my patience for the trolling is like this much because I know, and like I tell you, I'm noticing, certain trolls and certain camps, and so like this is how much my patience is. I just don't have time for it. So yeah, just letting y'all know. But welcome everybody. Hey B Sanita, how are you, my love? Honestly, I'm down for a recap. Pretty sure my brain lost a couple of wrinkles, but I can't remember jack about any of the cases, Alec. Too much IRL stuff going on. Celeb online drama had to be shredded for RAM. I appreciate you, Alec. I think that's wonderful. Thank you for saying that. Sometimes I can give a recap. I think that sometimes that's why people go to YouTubers. You get the conversation, you get a recap. You might get repeated information, whatever it may be, but I'm not breaking exclusive or breaking news here. Please note that because some of us don't have that exclusive because we're not there. We're getting information and then we're evaluating as it's coming. If you don't have the time for that, then why are you watching? That's the question that I have. Unsolved Amy Boston. Thank you for the 5 memberships. Thank you, my love. Shout out to you, my love. Thank you for supporting the channel. Y'all, I'm waiting for more people to get in here. And while I wait, I gotta get some blood drawn tomorrow morning, and I'm not excited about that. Yeah, so I had to drink a lot of water and everything. You're the only one on top. You're the only one on the first to drop news. For me, it's always breaking in my book. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, my love. Thank you for saying that. I try, but I'm not always breaking it. And when I am, you'll see breaking news. This just got dropped, or exclusive when it's exclusive to me. The CEO is wonderful. She's with their sitter. She comes and she goes whenever she wants. That's why you guys hear her. I don't lock my child up. She's allowed to come and go. I'm a mama first, just so people are aware. That's why y'all hear her, and it's okay. Nebby, thank you. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Oh my goodness, Nebby. Thank you guys. Thank you, Nebby and Amy. You guys are amazing. If you guys have been gifted, put some hearts in the chat. Okay, we gonna get started now. And shout out to Say Baby. Thank you so much for becoming a member, my love. Thank you. Listen, so we got a couple of topics to cover, and for those that are watching the replay, I'm gonna put some timestamps on this, so you guys know exactly where to go. You don't get the other stuff if you want to hear that. I do my best to do that. for the replay gang, okay? But we do have a lot of topics, and we're going to try to stay on time just the way we do it, okay? Thank you, everybody. And Lady Locks, you do a great job. We appreciate all that you do. Thank you, Lady Locks. Thank you, thank you. Now, can I put a heart here? Thank you. I put a heart on your super chat, super sticker. Thank you, my love. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? I hope you're doing well. Rivera, shout out to you. Okay, let's get it together. So let's talk about David. So a couple of different pieces of news broke today. Number one, we're going to talk about, well, do we want to start with David or do we want to start with Emmanuel Haro? So Emmanuel Haro, yeah, let's do Emmanuel Haro and then we'll do David because Emmanuel Haro is pretty short. Real quick on Emmanuel Haro, we'll go Emmanuel and then David. Emmanuel Haro, there was a hearing today for custody for those that are following that case. You guys know we are following the Emmanuel Haro case out of Yucaipa. So today, apparently, there was Jake Haro was in court today for a custody hearing. Now, you guys know we are waiting for this hearing that's happening the last week of October. I believe it's the 29th, where it's going to be we're going to get more details about what happened to Emmanuel Haro. We're hoping to get more details, but Jake Haro over here, he apparently was out there to confirm just what the hearings were. I believe there's a hearing tomorrow. We are all waiting for Jake and Rebecca for a confessional. If we can find the baby, Riverside has been like quiet. They don't want to speak. They have demonized social media. You guys are doing X, Y, and Z, but yet they said that they knew where the body's at. And nobody yet. Okay. No baby Emmanuel. We would love to see baby Emmanuel be put to rest, but I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Let me play this reporting.
We've tried everything to address plumbing emergencies.
Okay, be quiet. Ads, of course. So this is what happened today. This dropped, and Jake Haro was transported to Riverside from Murrieta for a child custody hearing. And this was confirmed.
News Channel 3's Garrett Hoddle live at the Breaking News Center tracking the Haro case. Garrett, what did you learn in court today?
Well, Peter, Riverside County Sheriff's deputies confirming Jake Haro was transported this morning from the Bird Detention Center in Murrieta to Riverside's juvenile courthouse this morning for a child custody hearing, not a criminal proceeding. These hearings are closed to the public and they don't appear on court calendars, which explains why Haro's name didn't show up in today's docket. Now, both Jake and Rebecca Haro remain in custody on $1 million bail on suspicion of murdering their 7-month-old son, Emmanuel Haro. Prosecutors allege Emmanuel was abused over time and died between August 5th and August 14th. They say they have a strong indication of where his remains may be. The district attorney's office also telling me that tomorrow's felony settlement conference is still scheduled in Riverside Superior Court. We'll keep you updated and be in the courtroom tomorrow. Be sure and stay tuned to News Channel 3. Peter.
Guys, unfortunately, I won't be live because I have several appointments tomorrow. I have a parent-teacher conference, and then I have a blood drawn. I have to get my blood drawn. So I hate that I'm not going to be live, but I promise y'all, whatever I find out, whatever information I find out, I will try to go live later on to report it. But yes, there's a couple things happening tomorrow. Okay.
Back to you.
Okay, Garrett, thanks.
Okay, so that is what is going on with the Emmanuel Haro. So we got a hearing tomorrow, just so people are aware. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Olson, thank you so much for this. I appreciate you, Olson. Thank you, my love. Shoot for the stars. I don't care. Anyone says I enjoy all of us. Give us, and I only watch Miss Beautiful Coneja. Thank you so much. Shoot for the stars. You're so sweet. Thank you, my love. Appreciate it. Okay, so that is the update on that. I don't know, man. I'm praying that, because the Emmanuel Haro case is one of those cases that's just blatantly disturbing in so many ways that, I'm like, Rebecca, how the hell do you sleep at night? I mean, I truly hope that you don't sleep at night in that jail cell knowing that you're protecting Jake Haro. Like you're protecting Shrek. Get the hell out of here. I can't with Rebecca. I don't know what to say, but you guys let me know what you think. Thank you. Thank you, Tiffany. All right. So let's get into this David news. There's a couple of pieces of news that broke today. All right. One of them being that the rental home. So David, cops have rental home security videos. So you guys remember those videos right here? And I had asked a question yesterday. I said, I do wonder if, because he was a tenant, or Josh Marshall was a tenant at this home, if the police would have access to this footage, with a warrant or a subpoena, something like that would have been needed, right? Given that that would have been the time frame that he's there. Were they in working condition? Was there a third party, monitoring service for those security footages out there? I do wonder about that, right? And honestly, like, even now, reflecting back on the conversation that we had yesterday, some of you guys in the chat, me talking to you guys, I really thought I can really appreciate, and some of you guys, whether you agree or you don't, I can appreciate the landlord really wanting to know what's going on. What happened? Did something happen in his home with a child and he wasn't aware of it? I'm glad that the landlord is standing on business when it comes to that. I think it's important. Some people, I saw in my comments, they were like, "Well, I don't know, agree." No. I really do. I agree. Okay, I agree, and I like that he's speaking to the public, and I'm sure he's also speaking, or at least talking to people in the law enforcement, arena, or whatever it may be, to kind of sort that out. I think it's important, right? Whether he wants to sell his property or rent it, whatever it may be. But I honestly think he's thinking like, well, was there a child in this home of mine and I didn't even know? I don't know. I mean, some people wouldn't even think of it twice, Yes, can you imagine? That's right. It's your property. A decent person would want to find the truth of what happened there. I think so. I would like to think, I don't know the landlord. I don't know anybody, please note that. But personally, I would feel like, and I get the impression that he probably wants to know the truth of what happened in there. And because law enforcement isn't speaking or anything like that, he just wants to know, right? And so he has hired, a private, investigator. That being said, I think it's important. Okay, so TMZ dropped this a couple hours ago, right? And we did not report on this. We were not live on this. So cops have rental home security videos with Celeste there before death. I know I have concluded that. At least I've assumed that. I know you guys have in the chat as well, but let's keep going. LAPD sitting on a potential gold mine in David investigation. Surveillance videos from the singer's Hollywood Hills rental home that could reveal whether Celeste Rivas was there prior to her mysterious death. Now, TMZ has learned cops seized all the footage from multiple security cameras at the home last month, which is fantastic. I'm glad they did that, while executing a search warrant. The owner of the house, or of the home, and you all know, I'm going to call him Malden because I can never say his last name, tells us that the external cameras would show anyone who went in or out of the house. So the footage could help cops track Celeste's movements leading up to her demise. Anybody coming in and out. It does kind of make you wonder what service they were using for that. Malden says that he hasn't seen any of the footage himself because he intentionally did not have access to the cameras to allow his renters privacy, so that he has no idea if Celeste was ever in the house. He says he'd asked LAPD for a copy of the warrant and an itemized list of what was seized from the house, but has not gotten a response. You guys hear that? So the landlord's asking, like, yeah, you guys let me know what was taken, what's going on. Malden has hired a private investigator to look into Celeste's death. He says his PI is still very early on the investigation and has nothing to share yet, which would make sense, right? Because he was just hired. As we reported, people who parted with David told us that the singer and Celeste presented as a couple, but everyone thought the 14-year-old was actually 19 and a student at USC. David's Tesla, which Celeste reportedly, which look at the word dismembered is being used again. David's Tesla, in which Celeste reportedly dismembered, but now they're using the word reportedly in front of dismembered. Reportedly dismembered body was parked on the street as a block away from the house when it was towed on September 5th, leading to the grisly discovery of her remains days later. So it's been nearly 6 weeks. LAPD has not named a suspect or even a persons of interest in the case. We know a major holdup for the cops in the LA County Medical Examiner's Office determining Celeste's cause of death. Okay, So then we got the news too regarding the PI. And I mean, I think it's official now. The PI is SF Investigates. All right. So Steve Fisher, shout out to Steve Fisher. He says, I can confirm that I am the private investigator retained by the homeowner, Mr. Malign. And Lauren Conlon also talked about it about 2 hours ago. Hollywood Hills mansion owner has officially retained the services of PI Steve Fisher amid the ongoing investigation into the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Now, let me tell y'all something. Steve Fisher, this is, I told you guys, this is why I like Steve Fisher. Steve Fisher is not the kind of person to like, he's very focused on his cases. That's what he does. And he's got a track record of being that. A lot of people, you know, will say things here and there about Steve Fisher because Steve Fisher doesn't take any shit from anyone. I'm gonna tell you by observation, Steve Fisher takes no shits about anybody. Like if you come at him with any kind of BS, he's gonna come at you with BS. So like just he's the real deal. And I have been following him, oh my God, a couple years now since the Adventures with Purpose situation. Put a one in the chat if you guys remember Adventures with Purpose. Adventures with Purpose is that big YouTube channel that does underwater recovery. And they were involved in the Kylie Rodney case, and they created a whole shitload of situation in their involvement. And then we come to find out that the owner was like charged with child SA. And Steve Fisher was the one who brought that information over to the people of the YouTube. He broke that. He knew way before people knew, because that's what he does. He's an investigator. So what I'm saying is that I don't ever really listen to the pushback that or any kind of hate, because I know what I have seen from Steve Fisher. And what I have seen is he constantly produces receipts. And he will stand on whether it's, if he misreports something, he'll tell you. When the Emmanuel Haro situation happened, myself, Steve, a bunch of people, we thought that he had been found, and we mistakenly misreported. And one thing Steve did was he apologized for it. You don't get a lot of people like that. You don't. So Steve is definitely the real deal when it comes to investigations. And I love that he don't take shit from people, and he'll call you out on your shit. So shout out to him. Yes, he's been officially hired, and he was hired by the landlord. And I think it's a great idea. Given that he wants to find out more information, I think it's great. Yeah, you forgot about that case. That's awesome, Steve. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. He doesn't take people, give him a lot of shit. He don't take shit from people. That's why I love Steve. I'm telling you, he's the real deal. He's probably one of the few people online that I would trust with my personal information, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. Other things that broke, and then we're going to talk about the DA, okay? Because the DA apparently was asked about the case. So this just broke. Now, did it just break? Like, it literally just broke a couple hours. I don't think it's, listen, it's the content is a bit new. Mystery thickens. David LA rental mansion visited by police after late night 911 calls 2 months before teen Celeste Rivas was found dead. You know what's so interesting? You guys remember, shout out to Obsidian. Again, Obsidian is a mod for strategic true crime, right? And she pulled some receipts. Obsidian, I'm assuming it's a she. Could be a he. I don't know. Obsidian pulled some receipts that were posted on Reddit. Okay. And I'm glad that Obsidian did that. The Obsidian FOIA'd the 911 calls from Celeste's address, right? She FOIA'd all the 911 calls from 2024. We found out that there was 22. And then she pulled the ones that TMZ had pulled for 2025, which was 11. Okay. So it gave us an idea of like the stuff that was going on, right? So then it never, like, I never really thought about this, but why haven't had there been any 911 calls called to this to the property, to the, nice house where David was staying? I kind of had to wonder about that. So when I saw this article, yeah, shout out to Obsidian. I don't know if Obsidian's going to stop by. Obsidian will come in here, come and go. Okay. So mystery thickens. David's LA rental mansion visited by police after late night 911 call 2 months before teen Celeste Rivas was found. Okay. So police paid a visit to singer David's Los Angeles rental mansion after a 4:30 in the morning 911 call 2 months before the 15-year-old was found dead in the trunk of his car. The police investigation into Celeste Rivas' death has been dragged on for 6 weeks and no apparent arrests have been made. Okay? So I didn't even think, why haven't there been a FOIA on the property? Was police were they going there? I do wonder. Obsidian is a subscriber. Obsidian is a mod for a bigger channel. Shout out to True Crime Strategic guys. They do research. Shout out to Obsidian. They're not a creator, they're a mod. But they're from that channel. And yeah. So I didn't think of this. Why not pull a FOIA out of the and maybe they have, I don't know. But I did have to kind of wonder. So it sounds like maybe they did. They have confirmed that she was a teen runaway and was reported missing a year before her tragic death. While sources claim to the U.S. Sun her family felt helpless, David's manager at Interscope Records, John Marshall, had been renting a $4.7 million home in the Hollywood Hills with 4 bedrooms, okay? And 4 baths for the star, priced at $20,000 a month. The U.S. Sun obtained information. Oh, look at this. The U.S. Sun pulled a FOIA on maybe it would be a dispatch report on the property. Like I said, I used to pull those a lot. I would pull those all the time when I worked in government. The U.S. Sun obtained information through a Freedom of Information request, showing a neighbor called 911 on Sunday, July 20th, 2025. Look at this. A spokesperson for the LAPD said that the noise problem was regarding loud music playing. But when the police eventually got to the house, the situation had resolved. And see, I thought that the neighbor said that it was fairly quiet, right? So fairly quiet. I mean, there wasn't a lot of partying, or maybe there was. But apparently there was like loud music, maybe around 4:30 in the morning on the, what is it, July 20th of 2025. And that's an interesting timeline, guys, because was Celeste live then or not? This is interesting. It's an interesting piece of information. We know that she didn't die like, you know, she had died clearly prior. She'd been dead for a while, right? We know this. So I do wonder, and this is the information up on the comment, what led up to that? As far as this call at 4:30 in the morning, 4:38, regarding a public nuisance complaint. The call was made around 4:38 a.m. regarding a public nuisance complaint, but police arrived at the home until 8:57 a.m. They didn't even go there right away. They waited a couple hours. So these I'm assuming a neighbor called maybe to complain about loud music. But see, the information that we got from other neighbors when they were interviewing, no, there wasn't anything going on. It was pretty quiet. It's pretty quiet. So that's interesting. Yeah, you noticed that? This witch snake, how long it took them to arrive? It's not an emergency. It's a non-emergency. They're not going to respond right away. You said in that neighborhood, I call 911 for loud music. Well, and it's the Hollywood Hills. Right. Panda Ana, she says if it was quiet 99% of the time, that was a little suspect. Y'all, I'm about to report in Spanish because I was talking a lot earlier in Spanish. So I apologize. It comes in and goes. I was a video of David singing. You saw a video with his sister Emily. The sister has been broken, I bet. My goodness. My goodness. There's no words to say how much I love your show. It's funny you talk about Adventures and Purpose. I had 3 people today tell me I should check it out. It's really good because I know you are. Thank you so much, Tracy Lee. Yeah, I mean, you could watch. I'm Adventures with Purpose is a whole different rabbit hole. I have a video of the victim. You guys can watch that, which was a family member. It's still up there. Jared has settled the situation, and he did what he did. So it was a real thing that happened, and it took the whole true crime community by a storm. But SF Investigates was the one who, put that information out there, and he let the people know, which I think was amazing. But thank you, Tracy Lee, for this $9.99. And again, that was 3 years ago, so it's been a while. Yeah, so that house was a VV big. So if the noise was heard by another house, well, you're right. And then how long did it take them to respond, right? Drowning out noise with loud music. Well, we know she didn't die, right? We know, like, they don't know what caused her death, right? But if they FOIA this July 20th is a very interesting time frame, because David went on tour, or what is it, in August? He left his car there. Did something happen in July? Was Celeste still around? Here's the other question that I had too, and y'all let me know what you guys think in the comments about this. Celeste was running, right? And I'm not gonna, like, I think the mom, and it's fair to say, right? Sorry, guys, give me 1 second. Okay, I can do this and talk at the same time. This is the question that I have, okay? Because the mama knew, at least based on what TMZ reported, right, that mom was well aware. She knew David, that she had a boyfriend named David, okay? That's what we're told. She had a boyfriend named David. Mom knew that she was running to a David. Did mom know where David lived? Did mom ever think, well, I'm going to give the cops this information, this address of where David lives? Did the cops ever respond? And this 911 call, because it sounds like it was 2 at the time frame, right? Did she go out? Did she call the cops and say, this is the address of my child, and this is where she might be staying at? This is where this guy lives? Because I go back to what SF Investigates says, right? SF Investigates says that there was an email. Whether Josh Marshall acknowledges it or not, there was an email, right? To let him know that there was a runaway, that, she was underage, and TMZ, that she was underage, right? And she was with David. Did they ever look into calling the cops at David's house? Because all of that would have been recorded too. I mean, all of that could be pulled in a FOIA too. Just an idea. I mean, I'm just thinking out loud, right? All of that could definitely be like a thing that is said. You said the family knew, says Sophia Martinez. Right, because the family talked to TMZ, if I remember correctly. And again, it's a lot of information. The family talked to TMZ. And I say this again by experience, when you're dealing with runaways, I used to have to look for runaways all the time, y'all. I'd be tracking runaways all the time. And one of the things that I learned about tracking runaways is social media posts, and of course people use different kind of IDs, different kinds of things, but typically a sibling's gonna know what the other sibling is doing. That's always been kind of my way of doing things, right? Then you have the if they're in school, you have that authority, the authority figure, who is like kind of like the cool teacher or the cool counselor or the cool person that everybody trusts, and they're finding out information, and the kids trust, and then you kind of go that route. You start kind of picking information and finding out on everything, right? And that kind of helps you understand whether a child's being trafficked, if there's other individuals involved and whatnot, okay? That's what I was trying to figure out. I think the brother, based on the information that the Discord was saying, might have known about David, right? So there's a sibling there that knew. Mama knew that Celeste had a boyfriend named David. So if they knew to email Josh Marshall based on what SF had put out and said, then in my opinion, you would think that they would know where David lives. Go send the cops to David. Go send the cops to David. and find out what's going on and have those cops ask questions. Did they ever call the cops to see if there was a child in David's property? That's the question. The question is, why was she constantly running away? Could be contributing to two factors in that situation, right, Jay Boopsy? Could be contributing a lot, right? Could be a lot of stuff going on in the home. Could also be behaviorally. Could be a lot of things happening. I think it's important to kind of acknowledge, right? And this isn't about blaming this or that or the other, but I mean, she wasn't staying at her house. Okay? She wasn't. She was running away. So it's the question. I'm glad that somebody FOIA'd, the son FOIA'd the property, but it sounds like it was 2 911 calls, and one of them was for music or at least public nuisance. Okay? All right, and it keeps going. A spokesperson for the LAPD said that the noise problem was regarding loud playing music, but when the police eventually got to the house, the situation was resolved. There was no other 911 calls made from February 2024 when David reportedly moved in until September 2025. Okay? When his manager got out of the lease, the star moved out of the home. I thought they said they had 2 calls. Rivas' decomposing body was found in the Hollywood tow yard on September the 8th. Okay. And the Tesla registered the singer was reported as an abandoned vehicle. The Los Angeles medical examiner has yet to release a cause of death and was laid to rest earlier this month. And she was laid to rest earlier this month. Now, again, they're saying, so I understand, there was 2 LA rental mansion visited by police late night 911 called, it says 2 months, not 2 months. So between the time that David was staying there, there was only 1 911 call, and it was pertaining to public nuisance. But what I find interesting is this time frame, this July 20th, because people have said that he went on tour sometime in August. Was she still alive by then? Was she had already died by July 20th? That's right. That's right. Let me know what you guys think. Rufus says, yeah, that doesn't add up. They reported her missing. They knew she was dating David, but had his manager's email. Seems like they would know who was, and the police handled getting her back. So that's right. In a runaway situation, if you have an idea where this child's at, you send the police to go talk to the people that might be harboring her, and the police will tell them, hey, if you're harboring this child is reported to have run away, she might be in your property. If you're harboring her, please note that that would be a charge for you. Like, did that ever happen? Because that's what you do. It's like not a scare tactic, but it's a reality. And she's a minor. Her mom called me and told me that she might be at this location. This is the address. Were you harboring her? Did that ever happen? Did they ever go to that extent? Because that would have been great for documentation, right? It's a lot. You said, I wonder how the other girls whose body was found. Oh, you talk about that second body on that same date? That's a whole different rabbit hole too. The house was north of Sunset at LA. West Hollywood border. So I wonder if it was LAPD that was dispatched or West Hollywood Sheriff's Department. Lisa, this is a great question. So where do they FOIA? They don't say on the Sun. They just said they obtained a FOIA. So was this a different department? And I know because jurisdiction is a thing, right? You know how crazy it is about, there has to be some changes in laws where it's like, if this involves a child, we need to stop getting so fixated on jurisdiction. Like if a child's in danger, if a child's being trafficked, or she's with somebody and she's underage, why are we? Well, you take that over there. What? Call 5-6. Call this number and call that number and see what jurisdiction. And her mom did go to the house. Her mom did. Cheeks, I didn't read that. Where did you read that? Let me know. She went to David's house? That's the first that I've heard. I've never heard this one. Where'd you hear this? Please let me know where you heard it and link it in the Discord, because I've never heard this one. Gustavo, do we know that's the cousin? Because, they got somebody over here talking about I'm her sibling, and then they like AI'd a photo. Yes, right. her mom made a police report, but did her mom go to the house? Her mom did go to the house. She went to David's house? I've never heard that one. That's right. Thank you, Reeseway. Like, why are we children should be everybody's jurisdiction. Since when does paperwork and technicalities matter? Oh, no. Like, your law enforcement, hello 911. I'm giving you the information. Go figure it out. Go investigate it. You said, or she may have insurance that pays out on home of crime committed in rental, making a property non-rentable. Oh, I don't know about that. I've never heard that before. Yeah, I've never heard that before. That would be a first for me. Hearing that. Here you go. Thank you. You're welcome. Her mom went to date. Yeah, I've never heard this one, Cheeks. Where did you hear this? Let me know. I could never drive a Tesla after this. I mean, it just makes you, I don't know, man. I mean, it's creepy to me that his sales went up. Like, that's just crazy work that went up. And I don't know. I really don't think anyone would care unless there's a risk of liability or negligence, says Mary. Thinking of all of them, David and his family, Celeste's family, and the cops, everyone has to drop the ball in this case due to not being as involved as they should have been. That's right, Aduko. You are 10,000% right on that one. I don't know. You said the brother knew about David and went to the police. That's what the Discord message, but can we confirm? Like, Janine, the problem is, look, this is kind of where I'm at. And I'm not saying, because a lot of information has been very interesting from Discord. Please note that. And shout out to the people that have pulled information from Discord. But at this point, because you've had people that have AI'd images and can AI messages, I need more information. I just don't, I'd be side-eyeing all this information at this point, you know? I don't know. Thank you. Sorry, you have a Wisconsin arm. Sorry, you gotta have a Texas leg. Like, it's crazy. Chirp, chirp. And Night Charm, I'm talking about when it involves children. Thank you, Night Charm. This is what I'm talking about. That it's like, what if I'm dealing with a crisis and I'm telling you that there's a child in trouble, and this is me with dispatch, and I might get, K'd after I call. Oh, ma'am, you got to call the other department from the other department from the other department, because we can't transfer your call over there. There's paperwork involved, Yes, it was part of the stories that you watch on your channel. Okay, I'm gonna have to trace that back, because I don't even remember, girl. I do not remember that. I might have to look into it. I think David is, well, I think if I remember correctly, I think it was TMZ who said that there was a runaway video, and she called TMZ. This is my understanding. And again, this story changes all the time. But I don't remember hearing that mom had actually gone to the property, David's property. I'll have to check it out, because I never heard this before. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a video that I covered. I'll have to check it out. I didn't realize how small the frunk is. Her whole body wouldn't fit. That space is big enough for, the space is big enough for golf clubs. I don't know, man. Here you go, my love. You're so welcome. Okay. There is a lot of speculation. Oh, no, not that one. That one's too full. Okay, so I want us to move on to the DA. So, Mr. Nathan here, who is the DA, said a bunch of nothing. Because he can't speak. I don't know if this is the DA taking over the case. Please note that. He is like the head. He's like the elected official, right? Please note that. After Gascon was removed, then it's Nathan, right? And a lot of people either like or don't like Nathan. I guess it just depends. They like or they don't like Nathan. It just depends. But let's get into this.
Where are we at with this Celeste Rivas Hernandez investigation? A lot of people are interested in this.
It is currently under investigation.
Is David a suspect? Are there any suspects that you guys have on a list that you're keeping tight to vest? Is there?
So we don't discuss suspects or the points in a continuing investigation. When and if that case is presented to the DA's office and we make a decision on it, I'll make sure you're one of the first to know.
Thank you. Thank you. Where are we at with this Celeste Rivas Hernandez investigation? A lot of people are interested in this.
It is currently under investigation.
You know, is David a suspect? Are there any suspects that you guys have on a list that you're keeping tight to vest? Is there?
So we don't discuss suspects or the points in a continuing investigation. When and if that case is presented to the DA's office and we make a decision on it, I'll make sure you're one of the first to know.
Thank you. Thank
All right, so that I just feel like I'm dealing with Riverside County again. Well, it's his office. I just don't know if he's the DA per se. You know what I mean? It is his office because it's Los Angeles. I get that, but I don't know if he's going to be the DA to take over the case. They have a bunch of DAs. He could assign it to somebody else, or he could take it on himself. I guess it just depends. My experience, I mean, just by watching Nathan, I mean, he did the Menendez brothers. He takes on a lot of high-profile cases, at least the ones that have the attention, you know, out in the media, like the Menendez brothers. There's been other ones too. But that's the one that jumps in my head right now, where he was like, and he's very much by the book. I mean, I can appreciate that from a DA. I may not always agree with the decisions. I may feel like some of this don't make sense, but he is very much a by the book kind of person, which was a lot different than what when Gascon was in office. Gascon didn't, I mean, it depends how you feel about him, but yeah, dude might as well ask Chat GPT the question. I know. Thank you. Or were you, Cheeks? Please do. Shout out to Cheeks. She says she gonna find it, because if I reported it, please let me know, because I don't know what, I don't remember. I don't. So shout out to my mod Cheeks. Thank you again. All right, hold up. Let me. There's another comment here. What did you say? You said hold up. Dude might as well ask Chat GPT, right? Okay. I literally said that the lady didn't make a kidnapper reporter against David. If she did, you can please point me at that direction, says Tom. Oh, okay. And Susan, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you, Susan Contreras. Thank you. Shout out to you. Welcome to the membership. Let's see. Thank you, because I heard somebody else say that she was kidnapped once before. And I was like, what? Tara Jackson, who did you hear say that? Gascon gave 5 months probation to a guy who ran over a stroller with a baby. Yeah, he needed to go. Like I said, people either like Gascon or they don't. I think Gascon was very lenient. Rabbit, why are people being timed out? I haven't seen anything. Ashley, I don't know. Were you timed out? I mean, I'm not timing you out. Sometimes you get warnings. It might be an error. It's okay. So when will we find out something? This is a bit much. She needs justice. Yeah. And I think that's kind of where we stand. It's like, we need answers, man. I think and maybe it'll come up, maybe hopefully by the end of the month, because what is it? Toxicology, all that testing. I think it's 6 weeks total. And that we're already 6 weeks in, right? So yeah. Let's do that. Okay. I don't know what's going on with you guys. Let's not fight in the chat, please, and thank you. Let's not fight in the chat, okay? Let's be nice to the mods, okay? Please and thank you. This is going on for too long. Yeah, it is. Yes, please. I'm asking y'all respectfully. Let's be nice to the mods, okay? Let's see. Okay, so it's sad nobody cares until someone is dead. Then all the shoulda, woulda, coulda starts rolling out. We need to care about our kids before it's too damn late. Yeah, I agree. But this is what I was telling you guys, that that's that jurisdiction language, that we get caught up on who should handle what or who should take over what, and then we get caught up on this, like he said, she said type. Well, excuse me, the jurisdictional parts, the laws, the paperwork. Jurisdiction, every time I hear about jurisdiction, it just means paperwork to me. That's what it means. And yes, it means different laws, because every jurisdiction will have something different, you know what I mean? But that's the problem with this. Now that SF is hired, he'll be able to find more information. Hopefully they can figure out if she had a cell phone or a device. That's the question. that I have. Okay, Rabbit, it was your video called David PI reveals info about Celeste Rivas Interscope. Okay, so that's where apparently I said that. So Cheeks, mom went to the house. That's what I said on the video. Okay, hold up. Let me find it because I don't remember this. I mean, I remember doing the video about it. I just don't remember saying that. Hold up. I think Cheeks found the information. Give me a second. It was in your video called David PI reveals info about Celeste. And it was an upload. Okay. I'm looking for it, guys. Give me 1 second. All right. D4VD David PI reveals info about Celeste Rivas and Interscope. Okay, let me find it. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do a transcript search on it. And apparently what was said was that mom went to the property. So I want to make sure. Went to the property. What did I say? Mom, can you tell me, Cheeks, you know in verbatim what was said? Property. Let's see, property. I said, this is what I remember saying. Let's see. Start right there.
And all noticed in the video. But before I do that, I want to ask you about this location. I thought it was blocks and blocks away from David's house. It isn't.
No, I'd say it's probably 150 feet to.
So this car wasn't parked far away from David's property, say that. or where at least where he was staying at. Well, the dust shows that the car hasn't been touched. Where do I say that mom went to his property? Did mom go to his house? I just want to make sure I said this correctly. Let's see. I say mom 12 times. You definitely checked on me there, reached out. Coco's mom. Okay, that was Coco's mom. Language barrier with the mom, could not speak English. Okay, hold up. Because I think you're right. I'm like, in my mind, might have forgotten.
People who might have just been joining
one email.
So when she went missing in 2020.
Y'all pay attention to what he says about this email, okay? Josh from Interscope received this email. Okay, about Celeste.
24. Some of her friends and family knew, they knew about David or whatever, and somebody. So there's like a language barrier with the mom does not speak English, and the dad is not in the country, and so somebody was helping them. Somebody is very close to the family and like Elsinore and knows all of them, and wrote a letter kind of on their behalf. And it was an email letter. It was sent to Josh and.
Somebody wrote an email on behalf of the family because the family does not speak English. Somebody wrote an email to let him know. First of all, the family knew that he was a celebrity. Okay, there you go. I don't see it. I mean, I'll have to check, guys. I might have to check offline because this might take us forever. Hold up. And I'm checking keywords mom and house just to see if Celeste's mom went to the house. Hold up. Let's see. This is going to bug me. It just means that that's what it's classified, technically. Okay.
Not from this boyfriend who was doing anything like that was in the house, and that was possibly suspect. I don't know, but I know that, the police are clearly probably waist deep.
Okay, I'll have to.
I can't even imagine.
This is taking too long. I'll have to check it out later. I think. Let's see. He said, stop blaming the family because it wasn't the family's car. Who's blaming the family? All right, y'all. Y'all need to calm down. Everybody wants to fight in the chat. I need you guys to chill out a bit. Her mom is not innocent. Okay. Nobody said that. When by son past tox report took 3 months. I don't know what you mean. Let me see. Tox results can take 6 to 8 weeks. So we're already 6 weeks in, right? I do wonder about this. Yeah, that's what I have to say. David had to be busy. I don't understand how no one else around him has anything to say. Anybody else? I mean, it does kind of make you wonder, like the circle isn't really speaking. You know what I mean? I don't know. Okay, it was before, so I could have misunderstood that a bit about the property. Okay. All right. I just don't want to go back to it, but I don't remember saying that because that would be interesting if mom knew. If mom went to the property, I'd have been like, what? Damn. Like, I think it would have been something that I would have remembered, but I could definitely check that video out. Reminds me of what happened to BJ when she called the report. Yes, that's right, Kathy. I mean, it happens more than it just happens. You know, it just does. Besides David's friends saying that they thought she was 19, it seems like they probably were aware and just didn't care until he did something very badly, allegedly. Well, Anime, it does make you wonder, like, if this is my thought, okay? If this had not happened, would they have said anything? Would anybody had said, expose this? Because there was at least a couple people, okay, let me be very real, that on TikTok specifically, you guys remember that creator? He did that video a year ago and he had a timestamp to prove it. It wasn't like he uploaded it. And then this happened. So there were people out there in this circle that were very much concerned that he was talking to underage. Now, is Celeste the only underage girl? That's the question that I have. Right. You said I already made a statement. I already made a statement earlier about her mom didn't know him nor never met him. The sister literally made a statement on Celeste's IG page. I mean, Godfather, I get it, but I think we're just asking questions. I mean, again, unless you personally talk to the family, Godfather, maybe you got information that we don't. I don't even know if the sister is really running the page. How are we confirming this? Am I just supposed to believe? Like, I have a hard time believing the people that run their own pages. So it's kind of like, it's okay to ask those questions if, we don't really know. You guys, this is not the first true crime case that I've covered. And I will tell you, there are people who open up pages under the name of the victim or the victim's family. It's the same thing when you have these GoFundMes, and then it turns out that these GoFundMes are fraud. Like, it does happen. I got the screenshot. It's actually her IG page. Godfather, did you talk to the sister? I don't know. I'm just saying. Do we know that's the sister? And so she made a statement and she said mom didn't know anything, but she knew that she had a boyfriend or at least somebody in her corner named David, right? That's what we know. It could be through another page. The G Life says, how is the sister running the page if Celeste Phones is missing? I don't know, man. And it sounds like, based on what people have said, she had multiple pages. So we don't even know if that's really her. That's what I'm saying, is we don't know. I've asked the same question. There is a page on IG that says something to the effect of like, I can't even remember the name of it, but it's like giving updates and nothing really comes out of it. It's like blank, basically. So it's kind of hard to tell. Y'all are real ones for keeping it 100, doubling down to be sure. Be proud of it on comment on YT. Well, thank you. Thank you. Something is definitely off with how the family is moving. Could be, yeah, she had multiple accounts. We know that. I mean, and it's been said, based on what the people have said, is that she had fake IDs. So we don't know how she moved. You said the mom posted pictures on Facebook of David and her daughter. How do you saw that? Because I never saw. I saw her Mercedes Martinez. I saw her Facebook. Did not see one photo with her and David. Not one. I saw a missing person poster from like a year ago, but not once did I see mom post a photo. See what I'm saying? There's multiple and thousands of pages. You know what I mean? You know? Hold up. She deleted it? Well, then that okay. I didn't see it. Like I said, man, I didn't catch it then. I don't know, man. But like I said, you gotta kind of confirm the information a little bit more. It's kind of hard. Remember David saying that he media trained her on Discord. Yeah, remember that. Now that conversation I do remember. Well, he trained her in everywhere else. What does media training look like? And then she kind of made this like something about people and underage people and stuff like that. It's a lot of shadiness that's happening. You know what I mean? Celeste's sister has access to her actual page. FBI told her sister to make Celeste's page public. That's why the page is public. It's not private. See, I don't even know if that's Celeste's sister. I don't know how you guys confirmed it, but maybe you guys know something that I don't, and that's absolutely fine. We just, like I said, it's like there's another Celeste. There's several Celeste IG pages. How do you confirm that any of those actually belong to her? She had a lot of pages. Kind of hard. I'm just saying. That's what it seems like to me. You know? Nobody ever heard the FBI is on this case. Nobody ever heard about nobody even heard about FBI in this case. Yeah, the FBI isn't even on this case, so I don't know how the FBI told you. Who said it? Hold up. Who said it? Somebody said, Godfather, the FBI is not involved. It's literally just the LAPD at this point. Not the FBI. So, are you talking to the real sister? I'm just saying now. I would be questioning. Thank you for pointing that out because that's so true. People have asked in the chat, how come the FBI is not involved? They're not. They're not. They haven't taken on this case. They haven't even made an announcement about it. You know? So I don't know. People come in here and just type, I swear. Huh? Sometimes. Okay. That we heard of. That's right, Ronan. All right, guys. So honestly, I don't know. I don't know how much we're going to get. I think we're going to deal, right? As the information comes. Is that what that sounds like? As the information comes, we just going to deal with it, right? Okay. You said the FBI is not going to make you change social media from private to public. I know. Did she get advice from the FBI? We don't know. I don't think that's just saying, but you guys are entitled to believe whatever you want. That's why I'm very skeptical about certain things. Okay. And like I said, let's keep it cute in the chat, y'all. Like, I like having conversations. Let's not get disrespectful. Okay. At all. It's sad because that boy killed her and it feels like he's going to get away with it. I guess we'll see. Yes, Godfather, I understand, but it doesn't mean that you have the correct information. I'm sorry. I don't think the FBI is not involved. So whoever's running that page, I could do a page and say it's the FBI or I'm related. We have somebody who's saying they're related and they don't even they photocrop the photo. We don't know if it's factual. You could have the screenshots all you want, but I don't know if it's real. The information will come. FBI will not take the case because they defer the results. Thank you, the G Live. That's what I thought. Y'all are entitled to believe what you want. Believe what you want. I'm just letting you know it just doesn't make sense to me. You said you would think like this mom would speak up for her daughter, like Vanessa Guillen's mom. She took it to the president, Adi, right? I think that she is hey Franny Law. I would love to see mom do an interview. Honestly, I would love to hear more, but I also understand why she wouldn't. Like I know and let me say this. I understand why she wouldn't because people, like are kind of blaming her specifically about certain situations and the inactions and actions that she took and didn't take. So that's kind of like the spiel on here. They're going to blame her. Not so much the language barriers they did, because I think maybe they could have translated for her. But I did see, I mean, there's pictures. They were at the funeral. They're very distraught, clearly. But how much did they do? That's the question. You know what I mean? You said the mom knew David and sister knew David. Cousin knew David. Yes, I don't know, man. I don't blame her mom, because sometimes there's a bad parent out there and they're suffering from trauma and abuse or whatever. Just got to make you wonder what actives outside of I mean, she filed a police report, right, for missing. There was a lot of calls. We don't know who made those calls, but keep that in mind. Like, what activity, what inactivity was taken from the situation? You know what I mean? And that's why, I appreciate you guys in the chat. Just keep an open mind about things, because anything can change in a minute. You just never know. Keep an open mind, okay? That's what you got to do. James, thank you so much for gifting 20 memberships, my love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. James, if you guys have been gifted, please put some hearts in the chat. But that's my thought on that. How do we know they knew David? I think because of the name, because TMZ released that. So TMZ did talk to mom, and TMZ put that out there. So, but there's a lot of misinformation out there. I think that's why we got to be careful. And this is why when somebody comes in my chat and says, you don't have this or that, I'm like, y'all, like we're not getting the exclusives on YouTube. We're not. It's literally TMZ or some other source that's getting it. So we're doing our best to just report it. Yeah, it's fishy either way. I get it. Even if the dude gets away with it. I think so too. I think that there's a lot of responsibility that a lot of people bear in this situation. Overall, are we ever going to get the answers? Probably not. Probably not. No. All right, guys, we do have to move on now. I don't want to move on to Diddy. We'll leave Diddy for later. I want to talk about this situation right here. So put a one in the chat if you followed me on the Jaqueline Mimi Torres conversation. We were live earlier, and in that, Jaqueline Mimi Torres is the young 12-year-old girl, another child, who was discovered her body was discovered in a bin in an abandoned house. Okay, that's where her remains were discovered. And mom's sister and mom's boyfriend have been charged. Okay. I went on a rant because, people, the father, the biological father, he came out on I guess, and said that the last time he saw her was the 29th of, her birthday, the 29th of January, where law enforcement said that they hadn't seen her since, like, at least they believe the last time she was alive was, or she died fall of 2024. Okay. So the father hadn't really seen his child. He came out and he told people that, that mom was isolating Mimi Torres. She was isolating her. He wouldn't have, no contact. And then we did further digging, and shout out to Strategic Eyes True Crime, because he's the one that looked into this, and I went into it even further on the system. The dad, Mimi's dad, had filed for custody and failed to show up to court 3 times. That's why the court gave Carla, the woman, the mother charged with this crime. That's why the court gave her custody, because bio dad, even though he failed to show up to court for this custody situation. And I told you, I went off earlier. I said 3 opportunities for this child to have been saved. So now this is the aunt, and she's speaking out. She did an interview. And so this is interesting. I want us to talk about it. Let's get into this.
Totally unacceptable, inhumane, disgusting.
Exclusive tonight, we're hearing from a family member of Jaqueline Torres, the girl whose remains were found in New Britain last week. Her own mother arrested for her murder. Good evening, and thanks for joining us tonight for Eyewitness News at 6. I'm Erin Connolly.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie Simone. The heartbreaking developments in this case continue. Yaxi Garcia, the aunt to both Jaqueline and her mother, is now sharing intimate details about the family.
And your reporter Owen Kingsley sat down exclusively with her. He is joining us now live in New Britain. Owen.
A week since this memorial right behind me outside of the New Britain home where Jaqueline Torres' remains were found when this memorial began. Now,
they hadn't seen this little girl in like a year, guys. It's a horrible situation, okay? And Hibiscus Rose, thank you so much for this super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you, my love. Y'all are amazing. Thank you again for supporting the channel. Hadn't seen her for a year. And it's interesting because, like, I have my opinions about Mimi's bio dad, Victor Torres. I feel like he could have done more and he didn't. That's my opinion. Okay. Now, is he a grieving father? Yes. But I don't feel like he did enough to protect his child. And so then Victor's family is coming out and talking to the news. I feel like they're just trying to, in my opinion, they're in shock by the news. I can agree with that. But I also feel like they're trying to fix their image to a certain degree.
Overflowing with balloons and trinkets from her father and mother.
Oh.
What police revealed to us is that she was starved and abused.
Right.
A week since this memorial right behind me outside of the New Britain home where Jaqueline Torres' remains were found when this memorial began, now overflowing with balloons and trinkets from her father and mother.
Oh, it like skipped over.
What police revealed to us is that
it literally, okay, all right, whatever. Let's keep going.
What police revealed to us is that she was starved and abused.
Right.
What goes through your heart as a family member?
Disgusted. I'm thinking, what was this little girl thinking? Her last moments, how fearful she was.
In 1 week since the discovery of Jaqueline Torres' remains, we've learned she likely died about a year ago, and her mother, Carla Garcia, is accused of hiding her body since then. Yaxi Garcia is only 11 years older than her niece, Carla. She says she helped raise her, as well as Carla's sister, Jaqueline Garcia. She met Jonathan Nanita years ago when they began dating. She had heard from family that Jonathan had abused Carla.
He was beating on her, doing some crazy stuff to her.
Yaxi Garcia says Jaqueline Torres was largely raised by her father's side of the family, but Carla gained custody of her about 3 years ago, bringing her into a household with her and Jonathan.
When I found out that Carla had custody of Mimi, my jaw dropped, and I said, how?
Girl, because he didn't show up. The bio dad didn't show up to court. We pulled those documents. He had 3 opportunities. He petitions the court and doesn't show up. Now, let me ask you guys in the chat, how many people do I have in here that share custody? Like, they have children and they're sharing custody, you know, with the ex-husband, the ex whatever. Let me know in the comments if you are in a situation where you are sharing custody and that's the arrangement that you have, regardless of the age of your child. I want to know, do I have any parents here that are doing that? Because then my question becomes to you as a parent, or you. Okay, thank you. Storm says I did, and mines are grown. Storm, if your ex suddenly disappears on you with your child and doesn't allow you to see your child anymore, what are you going to do about it? You going to sit there and allow that to happen? Let me know.
Despite having gone on family vacations with one another, the family drifted apart in recent years. And Yaxi says Carla didn't let many people into Jaqueline Torres' life.
Sadly, I just found 2 pictures in my phone. She wasn't around our family.
Between that, being removed from New Britain schools, and Jaqueline's father moving out of state, Yaxi says that's how she believes the girl's disappearance went unnoticed since her death about a year ago.
I would have definitely asked questions. I would have made phone calls. I would have done anything that was in my power to find out what was going on.
But nobody did, right? The grandparents didn't. The dad was out of state. You know, because people said, well, Carla was isolating, you know, the child. What? Let me tell you, it went, allegedly, this was being said. Carla, mom, was using another child so that she could pretend to be Mimi, Jaqueline Mimi Torres, when CPS would come around. She was using another child to basically usurp her dead daughter. That's what it was. Okay? To cover up the stain. It went on for quite a while. Now, Carla is saying, well, I was a victim. You know, she wrote this text message to this blogger on Facebook. I was a victim. And, you know, she made all these confessionals. She talked about there the fact that Victor, the father, did not show up to court 3 times. And Carla's not lying about that because it's confirmed in the court database. He did not show up. If he didn't want Carla to have custody, he should have showed up. If he couldn't make it the first time, maybe the second or the third, but he didn't show up.
On Tuesday, Carla and her sister Jaqueline, as well as her boyfriend Jonathan, all made their first appearances in court.
Those are not my nieces. Those are not the girls that I raised. They look crazy, like.
Yaxie is the one who shouted from the gallery while Jonathan stood before a judge.
Yes, that was me. Even if Carla or Jaqueline was the one who came out last, I was still going to have the same reaction that I had.
Which was?
Which was anger, the outburst. You're a baby killer. You're a pig. You're disgusting. I hope you get what you deserve.
Wow. And that's an interview with the family member. It's a sad situation overall, guys. Honestly, it's a sad situation. She didn't deserve that end. She didn't deserve that end at all. She was a baby, 12 years old. To, you know, like, what is it with people between the cars, trunks of cars, disposing of children that way, to like leaving them in bins, discarding of human life that way? What the hell is wrong with these people? What's wrong? That's what I want to know. No real decency, no appreciation for human life. Like, what the hell is wrong? What are we doing here? And she literally went a year, did not give a shit. Not at all. Did not care for her own. And neither did he. And I understand, like I said, he's a grieving father, but like, what? There are ample opportunities for people to have stepped up and they didn't. Now they want to be angry. You know what, Ari? It looked like she might, like, I think maybe drugs or something, you know, something. They were moving around. Carla's alleging that she was being abused by Jonathan, the boyfriend, and maybe Jonathan was the one who did something to her. And, you know, what this makes me wonder too is like, you know, I hate to put this out here because I don't know for a fact, but was there any essay of this child from any of these people, from the boyfriend? She's your firstborn, and even at whatever, like, please note that, but like any child, why would you put them through this? And then to have the siblings there, you imagine if she's the oldest, you have younger siblings asking for their sister, not being able to have their sister around because she's gone. How do you explain that to them? And for what reason? And again, it is a prolonged child abuse. Okay? Prolonged child abuse. Janice, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you, my love. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, some people don't deserve to be parents at all. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, listen, it don't matter if your child is an infant, 17 years old. If you cannot take care of your child, call CPS. Girl, you just sign your rights away and you'll never have to pay child support. Like, just do that. Just do that. Don't take it to this extreme that you feel like you need to, you know, put your child, you know, K your child and put your child in a barrel. You know, don't do that. Don't do that. It's crazy work. And please stop choosing partners over your children. Just because you're in a new relationship doesn't mean that you get to erase the kids that you had in the other one. I don't know what that is. Why do people act like, well, you know, a new life, new kids? What about, no, you don't get to throw them away. If the person truly loves you, they'll accept every inch of you and they'll love you more. They'll love those kids more. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to love your kids. They're supposed to be there for your kids. That's what they're supposed to do. But we got men and women that will do that. They'll prioritize new relationships over what they've had before. Kevin Frankie, here's an example. He just got married. He fucked, whether people believe it or not, even though people want to make Kevin Frankie, if you don't know who that is, that's fine. It's the Ruby Frankie. They were married, right? And she was a big YouTuber who got charged with child abuse in Utah, right? And that whole situation. And Kevin Frankie came out here acting like he's a victim of what is it? Ruby, his wife, act like he's a victim of everybody and people did him wrong. F no, he wasn't around for his kids. He got pushed out and he decided to stay pushed out. He never checked on those kids. He just got married. New life, new wife, new family. He fucked up his children. that they expose online and made money off of. But he's allowed to make himself a new life over there, right? And dispose of everybody else. It don't make any sense. It don't make any sense, man. Crazy. Anyways, we'll be following that case for sure. For sure. Oh man, let's talk about now. This is another transition. Diddy. So apparently, new information has come out as far as mandatory conditions of 5 years supervision once released from prison. So you must not commit another federal, state, and local crime. Just some of the conditions for those that don't know what I'm talking about. So Diddy, was recently convicted. He was sentenced, and that was quite the hearing that we did here, right? Some people agree with the sentencing, some people don't. We covered this very extensively, but new information has been basically exposed of his new conditions, right? So he cannot commit another federal, state, local crime. You must not unlawfully possess controlled substances, which he's an addict. Hopefully he gets himself into some treatment with this, because that would be a hard one. You must submit to 1 drug test within 15 days of release from imprisonment. The above drug testing condition is suspended based on the court's determination that you pose a low risk of future substance abuse. Okay. You must comply with the requirements of the 18 U.S.C., the code is there, and other statutes authorizing a sentencing of restitution. So he's got to pay back. You must cooperate with collection of DNA as directed by a probation officer. You must comply with the requirements of the Sex Offender Registry and Notification Act. I don't believe that applies to him, but this is part of their breakdown. I don't think that applies to him. Standards of, and I'm kind of skipping over because some of this, I'm not surprised. If you've ever written or seen probation reports or conditions and stuff like that, it's pretty typical of, oh, girl, here. It's pretty typical of what is expected. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Girl, you are too much. Yeah, I'm pretty sure probation is gonna send him back to the joke. He says, okay, girl. Okay, that's hilarious. Okay, all right. You do you. You must live in a place approved by your probation officer. Okay, girl. What happened? Okay, sorry about that. Let's see. I know she does too much. So he's been sentenced to 50 months in prison on 2 interstate prostitution convictions, faces strict conditions after his release. I mean, they're very strict, I would say, but no different than anybody else, guys, who is on probation. The only difference is that, this is somebody with money and access and, with influence as well, which makes it a little bit more difficult. Now, he's already served over a year behind bars at, MDC, and he's asked to serve out his sentence, the rest of his sentence, at a federal correctional institution for Dix, a low security federal prison in New Jersey. I know that there's been some objection as far the judge isn't really married to that. I know that much because I haven't followed up on that piece. But a lot of this is standards like you must participate in an approved program for DV, which I'm not surprised by this. This was something that he would have to do given his conditions. And this is what's filled out. You must cooperate in collection of DNA and as directed by probation officers. That's one thing that's selected as a mandatory condition. And then everything else, and I'm trying to read it, but it's so small. So weapons, if you are convicted of a felony offense, you must not possess firearms, which I thought was interesting because they did collect weapons from his Star Island homes. If y'all remember that, they collected weapons and they one of them was defaced. I'm surprised that there was no charges from that. Put it one in the chat if y'all remember. You said, Moni says, just gonna let him out for reals. This is a prolonged public traumatic. Some people are on the fence, Moni. You already know, man. You were here every day when we covered that. You were here every day. Bernice, thank you so much for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Thank you, my love. Yeah, one of the ones had a shaved serial number. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Hold up, y'all. No, here, you can have that one. Thank you, my love. All right, guys, I do have to head out. I gotta head out, y'all, because Baby Bunny's doing too much. Moni, thank you for being a member for 4 months. I was gonna say 8 months. For 4 months, my love. I gotta head out because I gotta go tend to Baby Bunny. But I mean, y'all let me know what you guys think. Y'all agree with Diddy? That was a defaced weapon. That's right. It was a defaced, not a ghost weapon, which is different. But I do wonder how come that charge never even came through. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I will see you guys later because I gotta go tend to this child. Y'all let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for supporting the channel. Bye, guys.